Thank you for watching another episode of Stolen's Reviews. Please remember to like this video and subscribe for more videos. Today I'm reviewing the Kinesis line of computer keyboards. I've been using the Kinesis keyboard systems since about 2020. I will tell you up front they are not cheap. The most ergonomic models cost between $350 and $480. But I'll tell you a secret. I buy my Kinesis keyboards from eBay and get them for a significant discount of around $160 to $200 after shipping. Now I know what you're thinking. Man, that's a lot to pay for a keyboard, and you're not wrong. But I'm a nurse who has spent 12 hours on my feet walking up and down hallways. I buy shoes that were $200 to $300 to make sure by the end of the shift, my feet were as nearly comfortable as when I started the shift. Being without painful feet to me is worth dropping some significant coin. I feel the same way about my hands and wrists. I am fortunate enough now to work at a desk job, but I can type long notes over many hours, and having the Kinesis keyboard system means I finish a shift with my hands and wrists in about as good a shape as when I started the shift. And that again is worth some money to me. Over the course of many years, I am without repetitive stress issues like carpal tunnel syndrome, and I feel good. Giving you a quick look at the keyboard, you will notice the keys are split into different groups, 2 large groupings and 2 small. They provide you with pads for your palms. The function keys across the top on the right side give you additional functionality, including setting macros, remapping the keys in your print screen, scroll lock, as well as a key that will deactivate and activate a 10-key number pad. Underneath the keyboard, you will find 2 USB-A type ports. Later edition keyboards have USB-C ports. There is another connector that allows you to connect a multifunction or single-function foot switch. Also on the bottom is a label with some quick and dirty instructions on how to program macros and remap the keys. What I like so much about my Kinesis keyboard is that my hands sit in a very natural position. My hands aren't cramped together, no wrist cramps or cramped fingers or hands even after hours of typing. The keys that are used most often are within easy reach. What is most powerful about the Kinesis keyboards is the ability to program macros or routines that will type in repetitive keystrokes for you. Have you got something you type dozens of times a shift? You can simplify these to a simple 2-button keystroke. Do you just like the keyboard layout in one area? You can create key swaps and move one key to another. With the keyboards I have used, the Kinesis Advantage and Kinesis Advantage Pro, I've never had to install any software to make them work. Simple plug and play. The keyboard has an onboard USB hub and 2 available ports. The keyboard also supports a foot switch to help shift to a 10-key number pad configuration, and some models the foot switch can be programmed to do many other functions you may need. I think the second thing that will strike you about this keyboard is the layout. It looks drastically different than your typical keyboard, but be reassured that most of the keys are where they've always been, but now they're more comfortable to reach. Kinesis has positioned the keys within easy reach of your thumbs that your little weak pinkies would otherwise have to strike. The layout looks weird, but man, it works, and it works great. It took me about a week to get used to the new layout, but it increased my typing to 80 words per minute, where before I was lucky to get 40. How did I adapt to the new layout so quickly? I used a free online typing program. I'll put a link in the description for the ones I used. I basically treated myself like I was just learning to type. After a week of using the typing program, though, I was cruising on my Kinesis. Because nothing is perfect, here's what I didn't like about the Kinesis system. The thing I liked the least, and did make it a little challenging to learn the proper hand position and keys, was the lack of bumps on the F and J keys that you see on every other keyboard. These bumps let you know exactly where your fingers should rest above and tell you tactily exactly where you're at. To fix this on my first keyboard, I actually created little knobs on the F and J keys using small balls of paper and some super glue. Now, after 4 years of using the Kinesis system, I'm not sure I'll need to repeat adding the bumps on again. We'll see, but I admit I miss the bumpiness. Another problem I had, my first Kinesis Advantage died after about 4 years of use due to a cable break. Opening up the keyboard revealed what I think is solid rather than stranded wires that connect the cable to the main board. After years of moving the keyboard, the constant bending and unbending broke one of the internal wires. The Kinesis company does make some keyboards that are Bluetooth, which would eliminate this issue, though I typically prefer to have my keyboards corded. I suppose you could say I didn't like learning how to type all over again, but it wasn't that bad. Most of the keys you use are in the same place they've always been, but they are far easier and more comfortable to reach. The other thing I didn't like when I was surfing their site looking for a replacement keyboard was the marketing of the Kinesis Advantage 2. You have the ability to customize the key switches, and they provide you with what looks like dozens of options, though without telling you the real advantage of one switch over another. The other thing I would mention is the build time is several months, but since I've never built a keyboard from scratch, I can't tell you if that's a reasonable or unreasonable wait time. I would buy and did buy the Kinesis keyboard system again when my first one finally quit. I'm going to write to the company to see if they'll give me a replacement cord to bring the keyboard back to life, either to use as a spare or perhaps to give to a friend to see if they can grow to love it like I do. Did you buy a Kinesis keyboard? What did you think? Put your comments below. Please like and subscribe to see my latest videos. Please consider supporting me on Patreon so I can review more stuff. The link is in the description.